How's it going, people? Welcome to this week's edition of the Locker Room right here on Top 6 Fan TV. The Avengers have assembled, and Jonah is away, taking a break, nursing a heartbreak from Old Trafford.
The
And
trauma.
a trauma from Old Trafford. So Jonah is away. Jonah, we comfort you. You will be fine, as they say. Manzi is in the house from the red half of Manchester, Sly from the blue half, and gloomy half of London, the Chelsea boy.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
have a guest today. Mr. Ben is in the building, Arsenal man, and we have much to discuss. And we'll get
So
right
it's a
into
tag
it.
team thing, huh?
Yeah, man, you know how we do. You know how we do. You just figure out who Rey Mysterio is, man. Anyway, we'll be kicking it off after this.
Bukayo Saka! Anthony! Salah, that's beautiful from Aubameyang! Bang! There goes Haaland. He's on.
Fantastic. Welcome to the show. If you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the locker room right here on Top 6 Fan TV. Matthew is the name. And if you're joining us for the first time, do hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop your comments in there, and we'll be happy to share them and share your participation in the show. You are most welcome to the show. And it's heating up, ladies and gentlemen. Last week, we had an interesting show, and it was all about squeaky bum time commencing. And we are in the thick of that period, and the drama cranked up a notch this weekend at Old Trafford as the boys from Manchester welcomed Liverpool. I mean, the top two most successful teams in the league going neck and neck, and it was a fantastic show. Liverpool dominating, but eventually that match ended 2-2 with almost last minute, not last minute, but towards the end of the of the game, Liverpool managing to win themselves a penalty after Luis Diaz had given them a lead, and United had pegged that back to Bruno Fernandes and a stunner from Kobe Mino. Manzi, your take on this particular result? What is what is going to happen to Liverpool's title hopes? Does this dent them significantly, or is this just a point gain for Liverpool at Old Trafford? And does Ten Hag look like he is going to build on this momentum to qualify for Europe?
Yeah, thank you, Matthew. First of all, United guys are celebrating a draw as if it's a win. It's not a win,
Under the circumstances.
um, but it's a loss. It's not a win for United, but it's a loss for Liverpool. Last week we were here and we're giving predictions for the week and the weekend. So we were here on Monday, and United played Chelsea on the Wednesday, I think. And I'd said United would beat Chelsea. Chelsea is very poor. Sly, I want to apologize that United was far poorer than Chelsea was. And my prediction was that United would beat Chelsea but lose to Liverpool. I was so shocked that Liverpool didn't beat United. I was also shocked that Chelsea managed to beat United. So United is a very, very funny team. Chelsea, which is much lower on the table, which is much poorer, managed to beat them when they were even in the lead. Actually, there's a meme that was going around that United came back and went back, in 3 minutes. And whereas when you look at the Liverpool game, Liverpool scored fast. They could have scored more. But I don't know if the players or the match or the history and the pedigree, I don't know if they fear United, but they deserve to win the game. They shouldn't have give the game a gift away to Fernandez. they were very lackluster. They had so many chances that we didn't finish off. So United's draw was more of a loss for Liverpool, and the same applied to the FA Cup. Liverpool controlled the game; they were in charge. They should have won the game, but because of that lackluster, lack of critical finishing, they play too much. So I'm going to put it to they play too much. So United cannot build on anything. There's no momentum. You can't say that because they drew with Liverpool that they are good and all of a sudden Ten Hag is going to fight for top four. No, I think we shall expect more of the same from United. Win one, lose one, or draw one, lose two, draw two, lose three, like that until the end of the
In
season. So I
short,
don't expect this. Yeah,
inconsistent.
inconsistent but poorly inconsistent.
Poorly. My goodness, what a damning set of words for your team. But we'll see what happens. Ben, your take on this result. What does this mean? We'll get to Arsenal in a bit, which I know is your team. But
Yeah,
what does this mean for Liverpool? Does this severely dent them, or you expect?
I don't think it severely dents them. We also have to understand that Liverpool is still having a couple of key injuries. There's no Trent Alexander-Arnold. There's no Diogo Jota, and I believe that once those pieces definitely come back, they are much better team. Alisson Becker as well, missing as well. It doesn't dent their chances. Where they lost 2 points, it could have been worse. They could have actually also lost the point, and then they actually come out with nothing, and that would have actually been very bad for them because in this running of 7 games to go, the one thing you want to have is momentum, and you don't want to have your team doubting yourself, your players doubting themselves. They still have a chance for the running. I think they'll definitely have they're being buoyed by the fact that Klopp is leaving and they want him to go away with something, and you can't write them off. The pedigree is there. They're in the hunt for that 20th title that United fans don't want them to have. But Manzi is right. This game should have been killed off within first half. And the moment Liverpool went in 1-0 in the half, you definitely knew that any mistake and these guys are back in the game. And you can definitely hear from Klopp who said that if United plays that way on March 11th, then definitely they are in for a loss. But Liverpool should have had this game wrapped up within the first half, and you definitely pay for not taking your chances or for playing with your food. That's my take. But Liverpool is still good for the run-in. They're just a point behind the leaders, but 7 games to go and tricky fixtures for Arsenal. Liverpool looks good, and I think they'll still push all the way to the end. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! So it's good to hear. It's good to hear your prediction this early in the show. So you expect Liverpool will pip Arsenal and City to the title, right? Do I get that right?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying they still have a run-in. They still have a run-in. They just dropped a point. All they have to do is make sure they don't drop any more points. You can't afford to blink twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in short, who is winning the league?
I'm an Arsenal fan. I want us to win the league, but I'm also cognizant of the fact that we are. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I want
the
Arsenal
first
to win the
Arsenal
league.
fan who is not scared. I don't know. Arsenal guys are so worried of seeing Arsenal win the league. Mark, you guys are.
No.
We want to, but we have PTSD from the last season. We have PTSD from the last season. Yeah,
man, that's like first. Anyway, I don't want to. We have to give respect to our people who are going through those conditions. But man, this is more like chronic dementia that has coupled with. I don't know, man. Like me. No, man, the shock was too much. Man. It shook the bones, man. I still feel Arsenal will, they'll not lose, but they'll not win all their games. I think we'll draw like two.
You see, man, you're ahead of it. You're trying to be conservative in and yet
the guy is worried. The guy is
not playing politics. The fact of the matter, it's not about next season. It's this season.
It's next season.
This season, man. The guy is next season.
Every fan wants their team to do it, but You can't keep
No,
prolonging
man.
it.
No, bros.
Make a stance. Make a stance.
No.
This
Okay.
season?
As the Chelsea man, so that first tell me about you guys qualifying for Champions League. Well, I mean, we're going to get there, but if Chelsea was in this position with the games that Arsenal has, right? You still have to play. You still have to play Spurs. You still have to play Villa. You still have to play United that way. You still have to play Spurs that way. I mean, those are not like Liverpool and Man City games, right? But they're all potential banana skins. You have to play Everton on the last day. Everton have just been docked 2 extra points just today. And so they'll be in the thick of the relegation battle. And so I don't know. As good as Arsenal have been, I think that coupled with the pressure coming in from the Champions League, if they somehow get past Bayern Munich, then it is Man City or Real Madrid, which has to be played in between those games that running. So I feel the inexperience will tell. But it's good. It sets them up quite nicely for next season. Sly, your take on where this title is headed. After the results of the weekend, specifically Liverpool.
It's just heated it up, to be honest. It's things have just become a lot tighter, and same points. Now we're talking about goal difference. The drama is kind of like picking up. So it's anyone's to lose, to be perfectly honest. And the traditional kind of banana skins that we would expect, they're not gonna really. They're going to be the ones that are going to be the decision makers. Like not the traditional ones of the big play games. No, those are going to go to the wire. That's how that's going to last. But like the guys that are fighting for relegation right now, I mean, they're fighting. And it's. I think there's something interesting going on towards the bottom table. Maybe because I'm closer to it than the top, but like. It's
you can feel the heat, man. Eh?
Yeah, no, those guys are gonna, because there's a lot like an Everton right now. When I heard that news earlier,
Luton.
The first thing I thought about was just like they've got like a siege mentality going on right now. It's like us against everyone. Like we've been done dirty, So they're really gonna fight. That fixture they've got against Arsenal in May. Which
that's the last game for Arsenal, man.
If it goes down to the last game, imagine what kind of a team you're gonna get coming against you. So
but there's also a Merseyside derby, actually. Now that you mention it,
sorry.
There's also a Merseyside derby coming up. Now that you mentioned Everton, so that's going to be interesting as well for Liverpool. They have Spurs and Everton.
It's an interesting one.
I think so. Speaking of Kobe Mino, you see his "Are you not entertained?" pose. I mean, great player. Shades of Makelele and N'Golo Kante combined. So I think United have an after gem there that's going to form the basis of that spine. As Ben was saying earlier, you only keep Kobe Mino, the likes of Garnacho, Amad Diallo, Onana. As part of that, and Hoyland, and lose the rest of the team, including Manzi thinks the manager as well should be lost. But we will see what happens with United, whether this kickstart their push towards the Champions League places. It's quite a stretch for them, but shifting attention as well to the team that we have been speaking about, but the team that is taking advantage of this slip by Liverpool. Arsenal on top of the table, leading, level on points with Liverpool, by the way, but leading on goal difference, a healthy goal difference at that. And looking good, going away to Brighton and coming away with a 3-0 result. Manzi, what was your take on that game? We all have a good friend called Chris, Boom Squad chairman, Man United man, who taunted on the day of the game that taunted Arsenal fans, and he's like, Arsenal are not leaving with any points from Brighton. But 3-0 the final score. Manzi, your take on Arsenal's performance and their chances for the title.
Yeah, I didn't actually watch this game, but 3-0 towards Brighton. I think it was a sure win. Firstly, because Arsenal is playing well, they have good momentum. The clean sheet proves that they have the best defense in the league, I think, right? So yeah, they're firing on all cylinders. Their players are pumped and excited. Yeah, so I think I didn't see the game, but I think they deserve the win, and I think they're on fire.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Ben, your take on that?
I like to say
the
that
match itself.
the defensive. I like to say that the defensive juggernaut that Arsenal is kept doing its job. I mean, every time we have those three, Gabriel, Saliba, and Declan, it's more like a Bermuda Triangle. It's impregnable. And now, of course, with Ben White
Yeah,
coming on as a
the
leader, it's also helping us
things are always entering.
have more clean sheets. But I like the game. I like we also had a few Liverpool jitters where we missed two chances. One from Gabriel on a set piece, and then also another from Saka, and that was right before we got the penalty. However, Manzi thinks that it was supposed to be a sure win, but let's not forget that Brighton has not lost at home since last summer, and I think they were going 14 or 15 games at home without a loss. So Arsenal was the first person to win there in I think 14 games. But yeah, defense wins you titles. That's what I can say. And you have to be able to defend on the low block, be able to defend physically, and Arsenal was able to demonstrate that. Another record which has been broken previously during the midweek, they had held Luton to no goal, and Luton has actually scored in every single game until Arsenal came by. They were also the first people to stop Manchester City from scoring at home. I think that's after 54 games. So they're riding very well on this defense, and the moment you have a clean sheet, it increases your chances actually of scoring. So a great win for Arsenal, and yes, you worry about the fixture pile up, especially in April, where they have Champions League games, and then they have I think they have Aston Villa on Saturday, then they have Chelsea, and then I think they have Spurs after that game. So once they make it through April with maximum points, then I think it's theirs to lose. But great display again,
right now, like
great dominant,
talking about
great dominance, great display from Arsenal. So and we march on to Tuesday, and yeah, to Aston Villa without Douglas Luiz.
Tomorrow. Bayern tomorrow.
Yeah. Why you not winning Champions League, man?
Sly, you're itching, man, my brother. Say something. We have to give Chelsea fans a platform.
Guys, man, no, man, like, oh, you're so loud. You're so loud. Oh my God, we had the most throw-ins in the first half ever in history, and then like we had the most like come on, bro. Let's talk about the fact that you haven't won it in like 20 years. You know what I mean? You're coming close to it. Don't get too excited, man. It's not an easy feat. It's not an easy.
It's sour grapes
it's
from
been
the
a
Chelsea
while
man.
for you guys, so it's like just yours.
Take it easy.
Like Andy said, you're firing on all cylinders. You're doing really well. It's great for you, but it's not done yet. Be easy. Don't be too humble. Like Matthew tries to be too humble, and then now we get statistics here. Mr. Like
no, but Sly in his defense, right? Yes, of course. I like you say, I try to be humble. Like I mentioned, I've maintained. I don't think my beloved Arsenal are going to win the title this season. I believe we'll finish that. But in his defense, Arsenal are playing really well.
Yeah,
in terms of firing, not only firing but keeping the goals out. The best defense in the league.
Yeah.
The best,
but
most goals.
You see how like Do you know what's interesting is that
Uh-huh.
when we were experiencing that Abramovich era of, actually, let's say the Jose won '03 when Jose was there, and he was like, you know what, we'll
You
win
guys.
1-0. You know, you guys were the ones that were on your pedestal saying, nah, you gotta play beautiful football. It's not about the defense, it's about the attack and so forth. But have you seen how your tune has now all of a sudden changed when you're hungry? So
Yes,
come
Sly,
on, welcome to the big boy
Sly.
table. Welcome to the big boy table. Now prove yourself.
So, Sly, I'd like to say that is why we actually came to Stamford Bridge. If you watched one of the goals, I believe it was the second goal. It was made in Stamford Bridge. Jorginho passed to Kai Havertz, and you know what happened. So we're borrowing some of your stardust, and it's working out for us, my brother. It's working out
Well
for
done.
us.
Well done.
And Arsenal certainly looking good. Arteta, 60 million pounds down the drain. Remember that slide? Your lot was singing that at the
Kai
beginning of the
Havertz
season.
goes again.
I haven't scored again.
Hey, do you know what? Please. You know, you
Ah,
have certain sales where you're like, okay, you know what? Like, let him be. Like, he was amazing at Leverkusen. He just couldn't reach the levels that was expected of him at Chelsea. And unfortunately, there was other things wrong around the pitch. But still,
the
he's
smallest
doing
thing.
what he's doing for you guys. And I told you, if you go back to earlier episodes, I told you this was a very good signing for you guys. It was very versatile. He would give people rest all across the front line. And he can freaking step up like he scored in the Champions League final. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, something you haven't experienced yet, Ken and Matthew, but still, you know, it's
Coming to a
there.
cinema near you, my brother, in HD. Although judging by how far down the table you are, you guys won't even be able to see, experience the action. But anyways, no. I mean, Sly, in your defense, you did say Havertz was a decent player, but still, even you must be surprised by his form. In terms
I'm
of
not.
goal
I'm
scoring
not
form.
at all. Because you
Goal
see,
scoring.
like when we're talking about firing on cylinders, it's if you're
Mm,
part of a winning squad, right?
right.
He's a squad player. He's not an outright. I'm a, let's say, a hazard where I can change a game. You know,
Mm.
he just needs, so long as the energy is flowing around him, he's gonna thrive. Honestly, the
Right.
whole team has to just be playing together.
Right. Let me pull in some comments here from the virtual audience. And ladies and gentlemen, tune in. Feel free to drop your comments, and we'll be excited to put you into the action and read them. This one coming in from Aubrey Agaba, Man United fan, there saying, the honest truth is Arsenal is doing almost everything well and perfect, but I'm not certain. I'm not certain if they will lift the EPL. He shares my sentiments. Obviously, Aubrey, thank you very much. We know deep down you have Arsenal very close to your heart. But certainly sharing my sentiments. The bookies as well, by the way, I've given Manchester City the highest odds with regards to winning the league, followed by Liverpool and then Arsenal third. So that there seems to be some, not necessarily consensus, but a few other opinions around Arsenal.
Martin, do you know
Not
why they
being
do
able
that?
to.
They want mob guys to bet their money on City and then they lose.
Mm.
They want to take guys
The
down.
business.
Guys,
Business.
there. Kapapula. Fantastic. And speaking of City, we're all wondering when they were. We know the juggernaut City are, especially towards the last few games of the season. I think we did see that last year, and they're certainly picking up steam. Going away to Crystal Palace and coming away with a 4-2 victory right there. Kevin De Bruyne turning back the clock to deliver a fantastic result there. A pair of goals from him, the other from Rico Lewis, as you can see, and Haaland as well with the goal courtesy of KDB as well, an assist from KDB. So Man City cranking up the steam. Ben, I don't know your take on City. Have they hit top gear?
Can I be honest? I don't think City has actually hit the top. and I'm not sure if we shall see them hit that free-flowing soccer that they had for the past 2 years. However, we all know what they are capable of, that they can put on a run and just go unbeaten, hitting everybody by 4. I mean, you must have seen the midweek game against Aston Villa, where we thought Aston Villa was really going to put up a fight, but they just rolled over and played dead. So they have done this before. I mean, why the bookies give them the highest points is because they are 3-time back-to-back champions, and they have been in this situation before, and you just can't buy experience. De Bruyne, I don't know why starting Feb, De Bruyne just turns into prime combination of Messi and Beckham, but we definitely are seeing that. And I'm starting to feel that I think he only plays half a season, right? It's so that's who he is. Feb, everyone knows it's De Bruyne's time. But yes, I wasn't I definitely expected them to roll over Crystal Palace, but Crystal Palace actually did scare us a bit and give us some hope by scoring fast. But then, of course, the big boys came back to win that game. So City are going to do what City does. They're going to show up at every single game with the confidence and the je ne sais quoi that they have to get points. And of course, everyone expects them that if there's anyone who's going to get 21 points from the last 7 games, it is somebody who has done it before and before and before. So it's Cities to lose.
There we go.
That's my take on this game.
Lose.
Yeah. The only thing though I see a crack is that they're conceding goals, which I'm happy about. And I do feel one of these days they'll concede and they won't be able to come out of it. That's what I'm hopeful for. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously the things are getting a bit tight. Speaking of the boys at the basement, Sly did allude to them going to be a handful. So City obviously have Real Madrid, but then they host Luton next, and that's going to be a bit interesting of a game before the return leg. Back away, no, actually at home. They have Real Madrid at home for the second leg before they go to still at home. Welcome Chelsea, Slice Babies, to the Etihad for an FA Cup semi-final, and this is the final, so to speak, and that will be very interesting. We have some more comments coming in. Just sharing one here from Daniel Kagundu, an Arsenal fan I know. Great, thanks for tuning in, Daniel. He says, having some African blood, KDB still has like 3 seasons of shining. Certainly, I mean, KDB is a man on steroids. And as we can see, he's producing the goods. Phil Foden has been carrying the team for much of the season. But looking at KDB produce what he did over the weekend, we can only be worried and glad as Arsenal fans that we have already gone past City in terms of we don't have to play them in the league at least, and we'll see what happens. So fantastic result there. City keeping up pace in 3rd position and moving further down. The race for the top 4 is heating up. Spurs there producing an interesting result on Sunday against Nottingham Forest, winning 3-1. That result carrying Spurs into 4th place, having played a game less than Aston Villa, who in 5th place. They drew with Brentford as well at home. So that result, it's looking tight. They're level on points, but Spurs have a game in hand over Aston Villa. If anyone is wondering where Manzi's beloved Manchester United are, they are in 6th place on 31 points, 31 games played and 49 points. So that is a healthy 11 points behind Aston Villa. 11 points to claw back we're not even talking about 4th place. We're talking about 5th place. Bansi, how's this top 4 race heating up? As you can see, Spurs quite the prospect, and they have to play. Obviously, they'll have a say in the title race. They Spurs have to play City. Liverpool, City and Arsenal all have to play Spurs, and it could be an interesting race for the top four, let alone title race. Manzi, your take on Spurs' ability to qualify
Yeah,
ahead of
before I go to
United?
Spurs, let me just respond to something small that Ben has said. I disagree that City is going to get anywhere near that trophy. Failure to beat Chelsea, failure to beat Liverpool, and failure to beat Arsenal, those three games for me shows that City is not the City that we have known, the City of old. So all those are draws, 4-4, 0-0, 1-1. I think shows vulnerability in City's Premier League winning armor. Now coming to United, United is at 49 points. West Ham behind is at 48 points. So there's another title race.
There's another title race. The race for sixth place. Yeah?
So
West Ham and
even the sixth
Newcastle.
place
Hey.
that United is in is not secure. Like it's not
Not
a
secure.
done deal. United can yet finish in 9 because there's even Newcastle at 47.
Hey.
Newcastle, which this weekend I think is playing United. Actually, I think we're playing Newcastle. So
Next game.
if you look at a game like that, it
No.
shows you that
Next game is
Manchester
Bournemouth.
finishing. Bournemouth. Who's
Away.
playing Newcastle? Is someone playing Newcastle?
Your Newcastle game was postponed. I think that's why you have it in mind. But
FA Cup.
Newcastle's next game. Newcastle's
They have
next
the FA
game
Cup
is
this weekend.
yeah. Newcastle's next game. Who was it? No. Newcastle's next FA Cup is the following weekend.
Newcastle's
next game is against Spurs. Interesting.
So
So Spurs are going to
So
St. James.
Spurs wins, they go further up. Newcastle wins, they now come closer to us. I think they go above us if we don't win. Do you see? So there's another title race going there, mid-table. So United, far from trying to be in top 4, trying to maintain 6th alone is going to be our fight. Shall we maintain 6th? Yeah.
How the big boys are falling. As you can hear, Manzi is very concerned about securing 6th place for United. And we have another comment coming in here from Daniel Kago, the Arsenal fan. He says, City have struggled to replace Mahrez and Kundogan. Those guys would unlock any bus. Sly, do you agree with this?
Nah, well, yes and no. Like sometimes players have to go and we have to just stop reminiscing about, how a certain player performed at their prime and how they'll be able to unlock stuff. So it's Foden now coming to the fold and doing that job. It's De Bruyne leading the way. So yeah, had they been there, they might have done something. But like that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, man. Now speaking of now that we brought you, Mr. Chelsea, into the fray, our last result for the day that we're reflecting on from the weekend's result, Chelsea drawing 2-2 away to bottom of the pile, Sheffield United, and taking the lead through Silva before Sheffield tried to claw back with the goal from Bogle, and then Madueke giving Chelsea the lead, and then in the 93rd minute, Sheffield United, with nothing to play for, they're practically relegated, snatching a draw.
Wait, they are fake teams, and then there's Chelsea, man. Yeah.
It's like guys are hitting on you, but it's like,
the difference in points between the guy Manzi's
United and
the difference in points is minimal. He's been the one who's just been talking about the fact that there's a race for that spot. You conveniently opted to leave us out. You're doing way better than us, apparently.
Chelsea, like now that you mentioned, Chelsea have played 30 games. We've
got a game in hand.
Yeah, they have a game in hand. They're on 44 points. If Chelsea win that, they get to 47 points, and that is what?
2 points.
United. So, Manzi, the rest
of Chelsea can yet still finish above United. It's a real possibility. 2 wins and 1 loss. But then when you go to Sheffield United, like guys are in championship, and then you draw with them, like
But we beat you. Like, who are you to speak? If you've just been beaten, how can you talk about the
You know,
No,
they are calling Chelsea.
I
They're
want
calling
you guys
Chelsea
to.
Robin Hood, right? They steal their
Yeah.
points from the
Yeah,
rich
they still.
and give them to the poor,
Nah, which
basically.
rich was that?
I want you
United
guys
is
to
not
do
rich.
well. I
We
want you
They
guys
stole
to
from the
stole.
poor.
I
adjust.
mean, you stole
They
points
were
of
up.
United, and then you gave, and then you lost, and
Give
then
them
you gave
Sheffield.
them to
You
Sheffield. I
give to
mean, who
Sheffield.
does that?
Come
But
on.
I
yes,
don't know.
that's the kind of inconsistency we have seen Chelsea have throughout the whole year, and I
Yes,
believe
without a
it's
shadow of a
because they
doubt.
have the bloated squad and lack of ample games. You know, this is where Europa would have actually been good for them, or to be in
Mhm.
Europe so they can play extra games that can help them
I don't
figure
think
out
so.
the player combinations. But
You see,
Mhm.
too many player combinations. They have lost too much experience in Jorginho,
Kai
I think
Havertz.
in Jorginho, in Havertz. Somebody else they let go. I think yeah. So that actually has affected them. But I honestly do believe that next year there'll be a problem. Yeah. So the Robin Hood.
I can see
uh,
Sly, you catch my drift. I can see, man.
uh,
Yeah, I mean,
no,
what a big loss for Chelsea. I mean, you know,
no,
It's
I
a
mean,
draw, but not a loss.
like,
yeah, I mean,
I can
no, not the
I can
draw, not the
confirm a
result.
lot of points that.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry,
talking about the experience. I mean, that's why Sly is laughing, right? If you
you see,
lose experienced players like Jorginho, Kai Havertz, I mean,
no.
these are
That's
massive
not
players.
I was laughing at the fact that the players he opted to mention were guys that are now at Arsenal, and Arsenal is performing the way it's performing, and therefore he's positioning it as if like they stole the freaking, the secret symbol. Get out of it, you're mad.
Man,
We
that
took
was your
Ashley
that was your
Cole from the
rubbish,
guy
man.
that made him a world star. But anyway, let's
Uh,
going back to what we're doing. Like there is a project on the cards. Look, at the end of the day, we had to go through a project, and this is the project that's on the card. We're not gonna go like Man United and rush the project and just try to fit everything in and so forth. These guys, have they made mistakes? Of course they have. But there's a squad of players right now. Put aside even like the crazy injury crises that we've had. Some of our best starting players have been injured for pretty much most of the season. And then even the one that was supposed to bring the goals, and Kuku, he's been injured for most. Like, all of that aside, we've clearly demonstrated that, yeah, you know what? We can beat anyone. But at the same time, like, we can lose to anyone. So it's about that consistency. It's about that
yeah,
maturity, which clearly we've lost in the squad. So
for
it
sure.
is going to take a field job. You're going to throw
Interesting.
like a
No,
fix. You bring Jose back, and he comes back with 3 or 4 senior players,
yeah.
and he just instills that ministry and kind of stabilizes
Wait,
the
wait,
ship.
wait a minute, Sly. So are you saying Pochettino? I mean, Jose is
No,
available. So would you take
no.
Jose? Would
I'm
you
talking
take
about
Jose
if
in the
you're
summer?
looking for a quick fix. If you're looking
Yeah,
for, like, remember how we always used to just bring Hiddenkin whenever
yeah,
like
yeah, man. You
something,
guys,
just throw in Hiddenkin and he'll stabilize it. If you
yeah,
want
yeah.
something on that level, then yeah, that would be like kind of the extreme angle of the solution.
But
But
so
yeah,
so Poch stays,
we're
right?
going to Europe next year. We're gonna finish above United, and it's a young squad, and you're seeing potential across the board. You know what I mean? I think
Fantastic,
Gusto's probably
fantastic.
turning out. He's going to turn out to be one of the freaking amazing right back. That one, you
Yeah,
know.
man. I think he's doing well, man. You guys, I mean,
Oh
that's
God,
all we had.
you're right.
That's all we have had time for. Ladies and gentlemen, the race for sixth place is heating up. Man
That's where the
United,
heat is at.
Chelsea, yeah, West Ham and Newcastle in that one. The race for fourth place is heating up. Spurs and Aston Villa in that one. And as we have seen, the title race is in squeaky bum time mode. And Mr. Lukman Changwa, who's also joining in, sums it up and says, "Oh, okay."
I have the perfect sum it up. Even if Liverpool, United, even if Liverpool,
Yeah,
City, and Arsenal lose their remaining games,
yeah.
United still can't catch them, even if they just don't play. So I don't know if there's a hunt for the top four
Why do
now.
you have to be
Like
like
Mazi said, I think the hunt for United now is
Now man is going to want to have to answer. You can't just drop
top
bombs like
six.
that and to expect people to respond.
No, I think the trophy now is finishing above Chelsea because I mean that's
Yeah.
where it has come to.
Oh,
Top four is
just
gone.
Yeah, we need
first take
to.
care of Bayern. Huh? Try to get a Champions League there. Just get to the final again. That would be nice for you.
Yeah, well, and we'll leave. We'll round up the show with this final comment coming in from Daniel Kagund, of course, an Arsenal fan, saying Pochettino had one of the highest football IQs when he was a player. I believe he can perform given time. So some faith in Pochettino, and I'm sure Sly has also mentioned that he would keep Pochettino. We believe Chelsea will be a much better outfit, but so will the rest of the Premier League next season. Ladies and gentlemen, we leave it at that for this week. And you have a lovely week ahead. Thank you for tuning in. Stay safe, and we'll catch you same time next week with hopefully another bunch of interesting results. Champions League is up this week. From tomorrow, we obviously Arsenal welcoming in Bayern, and Man City welcoming Real Madrid, and then that's going to be very interesting as well. Have a great rest of the week, and